And joining us now with reaction is former NYPD Lieutenant and undercover narcotics officer Darrin Porcher, who is also on the ground in Tucson. Darrin, we're so glad to have you. So there are reports that there were 3 individuals detained last night in relation to this case, but no one has been arrested or is in custody. So walk us through why authorities would detain someone if they weren't necessarily a suspect.
Well, thanks for having me as a guest. The reason why authorities were able to detain these individuals is because they had a warrant from a magistrate which elicited probable cause. Law enforcement needs probable cause to apply for and receive a warrant. So based on those 2 components, both law enforcement and the judge, it was an appropriate action. In addition to that, we had a vehicle that was stopped at a culvert, which is a fast food restaurant relatively close to here. That individual was released as well, but once again, it was a warrant that was the determining factor as to law enforcement stopping these individuals, but unfortunately they've all been released. But at the same token, this is not at a loss, because there may have been information that law enforcement was able to extract from all of the individuals involved as we move forward in the investigational process.
Darrin, it's Joey. Thanks for joining us. I know you have a title. It might be doctor at this point. I think. I know you've worked hard there. But this is the question I have. We've all heard people say probable cause. Can you explain to us? I know you're just kind of guessing, but can you explain to us what that might look like? I think it's important to understand. This person happened to be seen on a Ring doorbell at some point in the last 2 weeks. That's not probable cause. Like, what is it? At what level of action or evidence would it take to be able to get a warrant like that?
Probable cause is what would lead a reasonable police officer to believe that the individual in question committed a criminal act or they were a part of a criminal entity. That's probable cause. It's very different than the conviction standard, which is beyond a reasonable doubt. You need beyond a reasonable doubt to convict someone, but probable cause is the standard of proof necessary to take a person into custody to answer for a charge in question.
And that changes depending on the judge signing the warrant, basically? It's pretty much an opinion of the judge?
Well, it's not just an opinion. The judge is looking for supported conclusions to be introduced into the process. The judge oftentimes is going to check the information that's presented to them to determine if this is a reliable source and it's necessary to move forward as it relates to an arrest or a search in particular. So in this instance, we had a search, but we didn't have arrest. However, we did have individuals that were taken into custody, but they were referred to, which we'll refer to as detainees, but those individuals were not arrested.
Darrin, it's Julie Banderas. Let me talk to you about the search area, because it seems that law enforcement have been focusing on the same area within a 2-mile vicinity or so of Nancy Guthrie's home for the last week and a half or so. Is that typical in a case like this? And then what would be your reaction to the ransom note that Harvey Levin had mentioned, which hints at possibly taking their search internationally, which was maybe possibly a way to throw off investigators? None of what Harvey Levin and TMZ have received has actually ever been verified. But is it typical to keep this search so close to home?
Well, when we think from the perspective of what's typical, we as law enforcement want to enlist the public as best as possible, because it takes an immense level of man hours to track and go to all of these homes within a 2-mile radius to where Nancy's residence is. So what we did, well, I should say what law enforcement did, was they put out a blast through Ring doorbell, and that alert basically told individuals that lived within that 2-mile radius, if you observed or you captured some level of suspicious or nefarious behavior, please report that to us as law enforcement so we can move forth and investigate this. This cuts down on a lot of man hours, and it affords the investigators the opportunity to work on additional components as it relates to this case. As it relates to Harvey Levin and these letters, I think the corroboration factor is key. You need to corroborate all of the information in these letters before you take them as a credible source as it relates to a ransom note. one of the things that I've seen, which is very rare, unique, actually I want to say I've never seen a situation where a kidnapper introduced a ransom note to a media outlet.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, kidnappers will introduce a letter to the family, and usually it says something like, don't tell police or we'll kill you.
Yeah.
This is a very different scenario.
That's what I've been saying from the very beginning.
We're doing the best that we can to authenticate this.
Yeah, even Harvey Levin actually is saying that he wouldn't pay the ransom based on what he has read, and he's not sharing the entire content of the notes that he's received, but he himself says it would be a bad idea to pay this ransom because it actually could hamper the investigation.
Darrin,
and you also want to take in consideration, we had a bogus ransom note that came from someone in California, and that person has since been arrested.
Yeah.
So we really want to drill down and make sure that this is authentic.
Darrin, this is Dr. Siegel. You know, as a former NYPD detective, you many times had to deal with local versus the FBI, who has jurisdiction. And you said earlier on our air on Kaylee's show that you thought this was going smoothly. One thing that's been eyebrow raising is where's the evidence being examined? You know, Sheriff Nanos has it being looked at in Florida. The FBI obviously has a really great forensics lab. And I from my perspective, is looking at it from the point of view, is the evidence degrading? Is the DNA degrading? What are your thoughts about why you think this may be running smoothly?
Well, in all investigations, when you have additional agencies, you're always going to have disagreements, and that's fine. Case in point, I worked in the NYPD. Oftentimes, we had joint investigations with the FBI. We may have disagreed on things, but the ultimate course of action was to ensure that justice was introduced. So now we look at this situation as it relates to the Pena County Sheriff's Office and the FBI. The discovery or the DNA evidence has been introduced by the Pena County Sheriff's Office to Florida. I understand that, a lab in Florida, rather. I understand it from the perspective of they have a working relationship, and they've had a working relationship with this lab for years and years and years. I want to say 30 years. And if they are going to use the FBI's lab in Quantico, they don't necessarily have that relationship. And the lab in Quantico, they basically would perceive themselves as being on an assembly line, meaning your DNA is on line with all of the rest of the 50 states in the country, so you may not have the ability to speed things up. Whereas if you're interacting or engaging with the lab that you have a relationship with in Florida, you may have some sway in terms of getting this done as quick as possible. As it relates to the degrading of the DNA, the more you analyze it in a lab, the more it becomes degraded. So you want to analyze it as little as possible. I shouldn't say as little as possible, but as less as possible, because you don't want to degrade it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Darrin Porcher, for all of that insight, and thanks for taking the time tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.